In this presentation, we will enter new service items and invoices. In other words, we will create invoices related to service items that we will set up in the system as we create those invoices within QuickBooks Online. Here we are. For more accounting information and accounting courses, visit our website at accountinginstruction.info. In our Get Great Guitars file, we're going to go up top to the plus item to see our objective. We're going to be on the customer side, and our objective is to create invoices, to create bills. We're going to put bills together, those bills being for service items. We're going to say that we have guitar lessons, we have guitar instructors that are providing guitar lessons, and we are going to calculate the time that has been spent for those guitar lessons by our instructors and basically have a bill for that. This would be a similar system that we might see in a bookkeeping firm or in a law firm, any firm that's a service firm that kind of has more of a system that is a job cost system, tracking time, and then of course billing for the time. So we can imagine that we're putting together the hours that were spent for guitar lessons for a particular amount of time, then billing the client for that time at the end of the month. So we're going to go into the invoice, and we're going to create invoices. So we're going to say this is for a new customer. Our first customer is going to be Star. So we're going to say Star Lee is the customer name. We don't have them set up yet. We're going to say tab. We're not going to give all the details. In practice, of course, we probably would want them so that we make sure that we have the contact information for our customer and send them our newsletters and all that good stuff. So we're going to tab, but this is what we need, of course, to create the invoice increasing accounts receivable. The other side going to sales, because we're talking about a service item this time, not having to deal with inventory decreasing and the related cost of goods sold, which is nice. So we're going to say the terms are net 30. The date is going to be 2/28, and then the due date will be 30 days later in accordance with the terms. Now we're going to set up the product or service, and these are driven by items. Remember, most of the time we have been selling guitars. Now we're going to have a service item. These are guitar lessons that we're providing. So we're going to type in the guitar lesson name. We're going to say Jody Guitar Lessons. Hopefully I spelled that right. That's going to be our item. It's a service item now. So we're charging for Jody, our instructor, guitar lessons. So we're going to say tab so we can set up this item as we create the invoice. To do that, we know it's not an inventory item. It's going to be a service item. And that means we don't have to deal with the cost of goods sold or the inventory tracking, which is nice. So we'll select that item. We have the input screen to finish up the information for the item. The name, I'm going to just copy it in case we need it anywhere else. The category, we're going to keep as is. I sell this product or service to my customers. We're going to keep that. Description on sale form, I'm going to paste the same thing, the description. So Jody Guitar Lessons, we're going to say that the price is $190, so $190. And the sales item, it's picking up the sales item for, that's an income account if we select the drop down. But that's what we've been using basically when we sell our goods and services. This is a service item, so I probably wouldn't call it sales. Sometimes they call it fees earned. It depends on the type of company. Sometimes you might want to call it service income. You may want to just add an account that's called guitar lesson income and be very specific on it. Just be careful about how much detail you want. You don't want to add too many accounts and have too much detail in the separate accounts. For example, you don't want to add a separate account for every customer and say this is guitar lessons for this particular customer, Star Lee, or something like that, or possibly not even for every instructor that you have that has guitar lessons. Probably too much detail. For us, we're just going to say that this is service, breaking it out from the sales of the actual guitars that we have. The inventory are sales, the service items, non-inventory items, we're just going to call service items. So it's going to be the $190. It's not taxable. So make sure you check it's not taxable, at least in our problem, because we're saying that the inventory items are subject to sales tax. Sales tax is the tax we're talking about, or usage tax. And we don't have it on the service item. So this is a service item. We are not subject to the sales or usage tax. Then we're going to say save and close. And there we have it. So now it's going to populate our description. And we're going to say the quantity will be, we're going to say 5 hours for this is for the month that we're charging this for. So 5 hours times the 190 gives us the 950. So we won't take a look at the journal entry now. We'll take a look at the financial statements a little bit later. We're going to enter a few more of these. Just note what's going to happen here is, of course, the invoice means accounts receivable is going to go up. The other side is going to go to income, which is not going to be sales, but that's service income. No other effect because we don't have inventory, therefore no cost of goods sold, and also no sales tax. We're going to scroll down below and we're going to say the drop up, and we want to have save and new and enter another. We have another customer of Jody's guitar lessons, and that's going to be Diana. So I'm going to type in Diana Martinez, new customer. Going to say tab to add that. We're just going to say save. This is a new customer. We're tabbing over for that new customer. It's going to be the same date, same information. So we'll scroll down to the product or service, and now we can do this nice and easily. This is once again Jody's guitar lessons, which we are now applying. We've counted up the hours for Jody's guitar lessons related to this particular customer, and we're saying Jody guitar lessons is now the line item, a service item, and we're going to say that there's 5 hours at that 190, and that brings us up to that 950. Yes, Jody's a really good instructor here. So we're going to go to the next one. We're going to go save and new and do this again, and we're going to go up top, and we have then another customer, and that customer is going to be Lynn Jackson, and we'll add that customer once again, saving that. Same date, same due date. We're going to scroll down another customer of Jody. So we're going to say Jody guitar lessons, another customer. We're adding up just like kind of a job cost system here. Adding up the Jody guitar. I tried to add a new one. That's the one I want. And there it is. And we're going to say that was 10 hours. At 1,900. That's nice. Okay, so now we're going to say save and new. We'll continue with this. We're going to say save and new. Our next customer is Jenny. So we're going to say Jenny Jones, which is a new customer, and tab, add Jenny Jones. We're going to save that. We're going to scroll through this. Same information here for the date. But now this is a different instructor. So we're going to say this is our other instructor, which is Angela and guitar lessons. So we got Angela's guitar lessons. We're going to add this as a new service item by selecting tab, adding not an inventory item, but a service item. So this is a service item. I'm going to copy the name, right click and just copy, or I'm hit Control C, or you can right click and copy. We're going to scroll down. It's going to be the description will be the same here. I'm going to paste that. The amount will be 150, so I'll select 150. It's not going to be the sales account again, it's going to be the service. This is a service income, so we'll apply it to service income, and it's not subject to sales tax. So note, this is the major thing that we want to change here, of course, the service item, just to have it go into a different income account. If this is all we do was guitar lessons, wouldn't be an issue. We'd only have one income kind of account, which would be called fees end or service income or guitar lesson income. But if we're selling stuff as well, inventory, then sales is typically what's used when we have inventory sales. And the item of service or fees earned or something like that will typically be used when we have service items. Non-taxable, that's according to our rules in our place, which is that the tax is going to be related, or sales tax, usage tax, is only going to be on the inventory items, not the service items. So we'll save and close. Here we have it. We're going to say that this quantity will be 7 times the 150, 1,050. Then we're going to say save and new down below, save and new, and we're going to do this again. We got another student of Angela. We're entering all the bills at the end of the month here. Another student for Angela, and that's going to be Diana Miller. New customer, Diana Miller. We're going to set this up. We're billing for the end of the month for the guitar lessons that have happened during the month. We're going to save that information. So here is the month end date. That's going to be kept the same. Now we've set up the service item for our instructor, Angela, which we're going to enter here. So this is going to be Angela guitar lessons, which is now populated. It's at 150 rate. We're going to say that the amount was 6 here. We're going to say 6 hours at 150, or 6 quantity, I'm assuming hours in our practice problem. Another customer for Angela, so we're going to say save and new at the bottom, and we'll select the last customer for Angela, which is going to be Jill Gonzalez, and tab. We're going to add that, so we'll save that. Scrolling down, that's going to be same date. So we'll scroll down, and once again, the item, the service item is going to be Angela Guitar. So Angela Guitar Lessons, we'll select that item, and the amount will be 150 at the 9 quantity. So 9 hours, we're assuming at the 150 or 1,350. Remember that all of these invoices are going to be increasing accounts receivable and increasing the sales. No inventory. We'll take a look at them after we've entered them. We'll take a look at the financial statements and the effect of them on the financial statements after we've entered them. We're going to have one more of our guitar lesson instructors. So we're going to say save and new and enter the customers for our last instructor. So the customer, the new customer is going to be Noah Davis. So Noah Davis tab. We're going to add that. We're billing as of the end of the month. So we're going to keep that as the date. And this is going to be Rebecca's guitar lessons. So we'll type that in here, Rebecca and guitar lessons. So I hope I spelled that right, but that's what we have in our data input sheet. So we're going to say tab, and we're going to say that that's going to be a service item. Once again, this is our instructor. I'm going to copy that, selecting it, right click and copy it, or I hit Control C. You could right click and copy it. And then you could go down to the category and right click and paste it there. We're going to say the price is going to be $100. So 100, not taxable. Again, it's not going into sales because that's where we are putting the income related to inventory. We're going to put it into the service income account and then save that and save and close. So there's the description. We're going to say the quantity is 8. So now Rebecca's client, 8 times 100, 800 is what we have here. We're going to say save and new and see what other clients Rebecca has. Next, we have Grace Matthew, the customer of Rebecca, our instructor. So Grace Matthew, and so we're going to say tab, add Grace. Same information down here. We're billing for the end of the month for the customers of Rebecca. We already have the item now, so we're going to type in Rebecca's guitar lessons. There they are. We're going to say 6 hours at the 100 or 600. We're going to have one more, so we're going to say save and new. Rebecca's last customer, our last customer that we get to input here is going to be Pam Smith. Pam Smith, last guitar lesson customer. We're going to say tab and save that. And 228, same information on the date. We're going to say now that the product or service is once again the Rebecca guitar lessons. There's the description. The amount is 8, quantity 100, 800 there. So that's going to be our last one. Now we're going to say save and close. Remember what the journal entry is going to be. The invoice means accounts receivable is going to go up. The other side go into now income, but that service item income on the profit and loss. No worry about the inventory, cost of goods sold, or sales or usage tax, which is nice. So I'm going to select the drop up and say save and close this time. And then we'll go to our reports, take a look at what happens. We're going to go to the reports on the left side. Let's go to that balance sheet first. That's the one we like to start off with. That's our favorite report. We're going to go up top, changing the balance sheet from 01/01/19, the dates tab, to 12/31/19, January through December 2019, and run that report. Then scrolling down, here's the accounts receivable. So if we select the accounts receivable and scroll down, we should see our invoices. Here's all of our customer invoices that we have. Diana, Jill, Noah, Grace, Pam, Lynn, Diana. We have Starley, and so on. So we see all this information. Here's the amounts, and they're of course all invoices. The other side is going to service. Notice that they're not split or anything like that because the other side, there's no cost of goods sold. It's just the other side's going to have one other account involved with this journal entry, which is going to be on the profit and loss or income statement. So let's go back up top, go back to our report. To get to the profit and loss, let's right click on the tab up top and create a new tab for it. So we will right click and go to duplicate. And then I'm going to pull this tab to the other side, so the balance sheet is on the left, then go down to the reports, and we're going to scroll down to the profit and loss, and then we want to change the dates from 01/01/19 to 12/31/19, January through December 2019, and run that report. And then here's our service items. If we select the service items and scroll down, we're going to see here's all of our invoices. Diana, Jill, Grace, Pam, Jenny. Those are going to be our invoices. The other side, of course, going to accounts receivable. Let's go back up top, go back to our profit and loss. Look at one more report, that being a customer report to see who owes us money now. So to do that, we're going to duplicate this again, right click and duplicate. I'm going to pull this one to the right so that now we have the balance sheet, profit and loss, and the new one, which we're going to go to the reports on the left. Scroll down. We want to know who owes us money, who owes us, the company. So we want the customer balance detail now, customer balance detail report. And now we have a bit more activity. Now we got all these customers. These are all students that we just billed. It's kind of like if it was bookkeeping for the end of the month, or if we're a lawyer and we're counting up the billable hours at the end of the month. We did guitar lessons and we're counting up all the guitar lessons we did, and we're sending out the bill. And so now we sent them out. We expect to receive, hopefully, money from these individuals that owe us money. And we can see this broken out by customer. And if we go down to the bottom, of course, it all adds up to that $10,449. If we go to the balance sheet, then that's breaking out this amount here, this $10,449. So the accounts receivable in total means people owe us $10,449. We expect that to convert to cash sometime in the near future, hopefully within 30 days. Who owes us that money? We can't get that information by just selecting the detail here because this is in order by date, and we need the information in order by customer. That's why the accounts receivable has that special trait to it, that you need a customer to it, so that we get these other reports that are going to be in order by who owes us money by our customers. For more accounting information and accounting courses, visit our website at accountinginstruction.info.